Hey, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Instead of doing my typical kind of loop tutorials, I'm going to show you guys how I got a placement on NBA YoungBoy's new album, MASA. Let's get on into it. The main focus of this video is really going to be the mindset and approach I used to actually get me the placement. But don't worry, at the end of the video, I'll still break down how I made the loop. And if you're serious about producing, I can show you can directly connect with me through my mentorship calls that I now offer. And you gain tons of advice like the advice I'm about to give you in this video. What I really want to get across in this video is that producing is all about your mindset. Producing is a career filled with tons of delayed gratification. You can make a loop today and nobody will use it for years, but then 5 years from now, all of a sudden somebody used that loop, a big producer, a big artist, and it can change your whole entire career. That's why kind of on your producer journey, it's so important to celebrate every little win, whether it's a big producer following you, somebody liking, your loops when you send it to them, and just little things like that. Those are things I've learned to celebrate. If I had the wrong mindset, I probably wouldn't have gone in producing to where I am now, and I would have quit a long time ago. As someone who's really focusing on loops and sample making, it's easy to get into that mindset of, I'm making tons and tons of loops, sending them out, and other producers aren't even responding to me. What's the point? But if you really learn to just celebrate every little small win and use it to fuel your kind of growth, that can be the shit that just drives you. All right, now jumping into how I got this particular placement. It seems like a bit of a weird connection, but I would have never gotten the NBA YoungBoy placement if 3 years ago I wasn't making, reels and content and putting it on Instagram. And here's why. Starting about 3 years ago, I really started putting myself and face out there on Instagram and doing reels just to me simply kind of, recording loops, making them, and all that sort of stuff. I had been doing that for months. I want to say probably like 6 months straight at the time of really getting into the habit of consistently posting reels, and you get a couple views on them, nothing crazy, and I didn't have that big of a following at the time. But all of a sudden I woke up one day and a big producer, dmac, followed me, and he commented on one of my reels and he said, send me this shit's fire. And if he's a much smaller producer at the time, that was like a huge win to me. I'm like, shit, a big producer who I listen to songs he's produced all the time just follow me. I'm really gonna leverage this to the best of my ability. Got his email, started sending him loops, and I sent him loops for so long, and I'm still sending him loops to these days. Every few days I would send him a pack. Sometimes I would get a little lab back, sometimes he would just like my message and that type of stuff. A lot of producers think that they have a big producer they're working with now. They're sending them loops. If they stay consistent, they're gonna get a big placement within a few months. If you're lucky, that'll happen, but a lot of the time, all the timing and stuff of when a beat's actually gonna be used is completely out of your control. So what I did is, in the moment, I was really focusing on what are the things in my control. I could be consistent, send him loops every single day as much as I can. And as I'm sending them out, even if he doesn't send a lab back, even if he just simply likes my message or says, thanks bro, that's like a win to me. That means he's going out of his way to actually, appreciate what I'm sending him, regardless if he uses it or not. And especially if you think about like a big producer who's getting, 10, 20, 50, 100 loops a day, sometimes even more. If the person can go to their way to, thank you, or even just like your message or react to it, that's a big win even of itself. So you gotta kind of put yourself in that mindset. Yeah, I stayed consistent with it. And then after about a year of sending loops to him, all of a sudden I go on Instagram one day and I have a rod wave placement. And the craziest thing about that placement is it was actually from a loop that I had sent dmac, I want to say in my first 1 to 2 packs that I sent him. And he had sent me that lab back. And it took an entire year before it actually to get used and placed by rod wave. So that in and of itself just kind of goes to show you that timing completely out of control, you got to focus on what's in your control. So unfortunately the rod wave snippet never actually made his last album. Even though the snippet kind of came around the same time. And obviously, it's a bit disappointing and discouraging, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and you just gotta keep moving forward. But in terms of what it actually did to, my following and networking and personal brand, I leveraged it as if I had gotten that placement on the actual album. Even just a big snippet like that can open doors for you, and that's kind of the mindset you gotta have. For example, from that particular snippet, there had been producers, other big producers who I had reached out to, such as, TNT, or kind of going crazy, and I was just stuck somewhere in their message requests, never to be seen. And then coming out of that snippet, they follow me, they see my message request, and they're like, of course you can send me loops bro, here's my number. So those were 2 big connections just off a snippet that I'm like, let's fucking go. And I'd say a learning I've had kind of over the course of my career producing is, I used to be in the mindset of, okay, every week I want to find, I'll make it up 10 new producers I want to reach out to. Or sometimes it was even I got to DM 10 people every day. You see a lot of feedback that says you should do that. And not to say that that's wrong, but I find personally, especially if you're reaching out to bigger producers, the chances that they're going to see it are low, or even if they see it and they give you an email where you can send it to, chances are they might not actually use your loops. They might listen to them a few times, but they're not actually going to go their way and actually create a beat on them. Better when you actually have the people you want to connect with coming to you. And that's just why it's so important to create content or leverage things like snippets and placements to really grow your brand. So then from that, I got Kai's number and I started sending him tons and tons of loops on like a weekly basis, sometimes, every few days, trying to be as consistent as possible. And honestly, for the first bit, he wasn't even like reacting to any of my messages. So I'm like, okay. But then I got in the flow of really being consistent with sending him loops. He started reacting to a few. And then literally over the course of, I want to say 9 months, he only sent back, I want to say like 1 or 2 labs. And one of those labs was this beat called Pray with him, TNT, and my bro Fast, who I made the loop with. And surely enough, that one lab, I want to say like only a month after 2 after we made it, he's like, yo, call me ASAP, bro. And he's like, we made the fucking YoungBoy album. And obviously I'm fired up. And it's crazy because honestly, it was a loop and a beat that I imagined, Rod Wave on. And that's what we've been trying to, get a placement with now and we're working on a lot. But it's funny, just like you never know where a particular beat is going to go and where it's going to get placed. But I went into sending loops to Kai with the exact same mindset as dmac. You just got to be consistent. Even if it's just something as, he's reacting to my message or says like, thanks bro, when I send him loops, even if I don't get a lab back, like I gotta treat that as a win and have it as fuel just to keep me going and being consistent. And in the long run, if you stay consistent like that, you're gonna be top of mind and they're gonna start using your loops and then you're gonna get a placement from it. It's just a matter of time, honestly. Anyways, that was a bit of a rant, but I think it just goes to show you that you gotta think your producing career as a bunch of little stepping stones and little wins. If I had been discouraged at any point throughout my producing career, I would have gotten to the point where I've got this YoungBoy placement. I could have got discouraged and say, I'm sending these guys loops for months, nothing's coming out of it. Or I could have got discouraged and say, oh, I got a Rod Wave snippet, but it didn't make the album, what's the fucking point? Like I said, this stuff is all about delayed gratification. If you're consistent, you show up, and you make yourself top of mind with other producers you're working with, you're gonna get a placement eventually, and you don't know what placement it's gonna be, what artist. It might even be the artist you're trying to get a placement for, but trust me, it'll come. All right, I'm about to break down the loop, but I just want to summarize some of the key takeaways from this. One, you gotta celebrate every single win, whether it's follow, a like, or a snippet. That's all progress. You gotta leverage your wins. Big producer follows you, that's something you 100% leverage. You get a snippet and you got some more people following you, or just people liking your videos, commenting. Those are all people you engage with that are now showing interest in your sound, and you got to use that to really lock in with them. Big takeaways is like, let the people come to you. Don't kind of just like, I don't know if the word is like cold call, but just like out of nowhere, reach out to these big producers and expect to get really meaningful connections with them. It's a lot better if you create content that people are attracted to, they fuck with your sound, and then they come to you being like, yeah, send me some loops, of course you can. Like any video on producing mindset, like consistency is key. You got to be consistent. And it's all about patience. You never know when your time will come, when a particular loop's going to be the one, if it's a loop that you just made a few weeks ago, or if it's a loop, from a year ago. But you just got to stay consistent and you'll get the placements eventually. All right, now let's break down the loop. I'm not going to lie, Fast carried hard on this loop. Literally all I did was just take his starter, kind of rearranged it a little bit, mess with the arrangement, and like mess with the volume and some things. And then just add a guitar lick over top. Like literally all I really did in this song is kind of the lead guitar lick. But yeah, let me quickly play the full loop for you guys. You can kind of just see the arrangement a little bit. And then I'll just show you how I play the guitar lick. was this guitar lick. Funny thing is I kind of had 4 different parts of this guitar lead. Funny part is I actually had 4 different kind of like little licks in this guitar lead. But Kai only used, I want to say, like the first little bit. But that just goes to show you don't overcomplicate your shit. If you make your kind of like lead melody way too complex, it's gonna be hard for a rapper to rap over. In terms of effects, I use this Rabia's 4th position. I use this shit in so many of my loops. Shaper box. Guitar, you just add a bit more delay and reverb. And then I use Pro Q4 just to add this forward bite under guitar presets, just to give it a bit more grit and stick out a bit more. And just to kind of smooth it out, I take a little bit out of the upper high end and EQ at some of the lows. Yeah, those were the first 2 bars that I actually used in the song, so that's what you hear in it. If you found this video helpful, I want to let you guys know, like I said at the beginning of the video, I am offering mentorship calls now. You can book it on my website and I'll put the link here, but basically it's a 1-hour call. You can book multiple calls if you want, and really you can use it however you want to get advice from me. You can send me loops in advance and I'll give you critiques on those loops. I can break down my process of how I approach certain types of loops in different genres and styles. We can go into guitar specific stuff and I can show you recording techniques or just tactics to use. We can talk about like networking and branding, a lot of the stuff I'm talking about in this video. You can talk about, your approach to selling samples and loops online and, making money off of sound kits. Or even just building on what we talked about today, an all about mindset. Anyways, really appreciate you guys. Let me know if you like this style of video versus my just kind of typical video loop breakdown tutorial. And I could definitely make some more videos like this in the future. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.